Okay, we're here for the November meeting of the Parks and Rec Commission. Can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Sherman?
Here.
Commissioner Burke?
Here.
Commissioner Stanton?
Here.
Commissioner Shebrel? Not here yet. Chair Bellamo.
Here. Okay, and can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda for the meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Everyone in favor?
You
Perfect.
gotta say aye.
Is there, there's no one else online, is there, Terry? No? Okay, perfect. And then, okay, then.
Darren somebody.
And then you had a blurb for us?
Yes, so Melanie wanted me to share some information with you guys. So she sent this to me just right before the meeting. So first she said, planning staff had a quick check-in with the Planning Commission about moving forward with the City Council regarding amendments to the development code for stricter park requirements in the new subdivision. The Planning Commission was supportive, so after the first of the year, we will have a conversation with the council and plans can be made on how to amend the code. If the Parks and Recreation Commission would like to recommend an amendment and update to the Parks Master Plan as part of that process, it would be helpful to submit a memo or provide a brief report to the council meeting comment time in January or early February. The update to the master plan could revise the project list for what types of park projects are needed, since the plan is a few years old and many of the priority projects are complete or in process. And then, so the second thing she had was about the splash pad. She says the splash pad components should be delivered soon. Dawn has been talking to contractors to get bids for the construction. We are finding out that it is not feasible to build the splash pad where the horseshoe pits are in Wade Creek Park. First, she says the water line in the park is insufficient. It needs a 2-inch water line, and any option is very expensive. If we come in from Wade Street, we tear up the new road and a long water line, expensive and wasteful. 2, if we come in from 6th, that requires purchasing 2 easements and a very long water line, which is also very expensive. And then she also said the sewer line is not at the right elevation to connect to the drainage, could connect to stormwater line, but would require dechlorination. And then she also said contractors are not willing to construct it at that location due to the damage it will cause to the rest of the park. She says she would like to attend your next meeting to talk about ideas for alternative locations. Campanella Park is still a viable option. And do you guys have any other ideas? And that's it. So she would like to be put on the agenda so I can add that to January.
Sure.
But yeah.
I thought Campanella said no.
It's a city park, city land. So there was people that did not want it to go there, residents, but it's a city park, so it can go there.
Like I told you earlier today, that new people that own the Shell station have that lot behind them that would go right from the street into the horseshoe pit area, and I just take the 2 fences down.
I think that's what she was saying. If they come in from 6, that's going to require purchasing 2 easements and a very long water line. I think that's what she was referring to for that. So I think she did say Public Works has looked into that option and it wasn't ideal as well.
And how about you're gonna put the sewer plant down at Portal?
A while ago, I know Sean mentioned potentially like put where the old wastewater treatment is, potentially putting it there. Would that be on the table at all?
Possibly. So that's, maybe one of the things. It just could be. I don't think the wastewater treatment plant is expected to be done until 2026.
Mm-hmm.
So when that project would actually start, I'm not sure. So I think it's just depending on like how soon.
Timeliness.
But yeah,
Well,
I think you should discuss with Melanie about that.
Yeah, I think if Melanie is willing to come to our next meeting, then we just put it on our agenda and then move forward now and be ready to talk about it next time.
Yeah.
Does that
ideally,
make sense?
Yeah, yeah, perfect. So for the SDC stuff, we would need to make a plan or comments to present to city council during the city council meeting, or would they, how is that what you would like us to do?
So she did suggest that the amendment to the Parks Master Plan would be wise, since it's been discussed, pickleballs, trails, things like that kind of came in after that was done. And so she did recommend that would be a wise thing to do, if that's something that you guys would want to take on. And the amendment to the Parks Master Plan itself is something that could, you guys would be heavily involved with.
Mhm.
So it is kind of like a bigger task if you guys want to take that on. And then as far as this SDCs go, she did share the information, like it's already kind of, I think, decided, and like as our master plan is laid out, it shows SDCs are funding this project, so forth. But if you guys have recommendations on, and Elena also shared that the more parks and projects that you have in the master plan raises SDC's costs. So that's also a good reason to amend the plan. But if you have specific SDC things, yes, I think that's something that you would want to write up and give to council. Yeah.
Okay. Because because we were looking at we were reviewing other cities, how they do and stuff like that. Our city, we don't have like a methodology, any of that stuff like laid out and codified, showing like what the SDCs would be, like how much they would be, what they are going to go towards, that type of thing.
Yeah, I think right now it's just there's a fee and it's all towards park capital improvements.
Mhm.
And new parks. It's not for maintenance or anything like that. And I don't think SDCs can be for maintenance of anything. So it's
Yeah.
always only been able to use for new parks.
Right.
Capital improvements. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because I think.
But I think they really would like help to, for like developers saying this amount of park space should be built for this many houses,
Yeah.
with, and then I think, I don't know, I guess I'm rambling. Yeah, I think you guys should just discuss it, and I can take it to Melanie, or you guys can take it to city council.
Perfect.
If you have ideas, yeah.
The pickleball court, could that go in where the horseshoe pits are? Because that is designated for senior citizens. That area was the senior citizens. When we got the loan, I got the money from the state park. It was designated that we have the toddlers area, we had the middle kids area, we had the teenagers area, and the horseshoe pits were the senior area.
Mhm.
I think it would be a size challenge though, because the amount, I think like you'd only be able to put one there, but like I think because it's not that big of a space.
That's
But
pretty good size.
yeah.
It's about the size of the tennis court at the high school, one of them.
Oh, interesting. But okay, for the SDC stuff though, okay, because I did see some stuff online that in some different cities. So if you like, I can start it off and then we can go around the table about the SDC stuff.
Yeah.
Go. Okay, so just going through like Lake Oswego, other cities. The main things I would like to see within it is, so when the developers are starting, there's really two options they have. It's either land dedication or fees in lieu of a land dedication. Personally, I think it would probably be better to have, if for build to do land dedication, so you have you know, the house, the houses are kind of broken up by a park within the community. And I know like Canby has it, like if they have like 1,000 residents in in their community, then they need a park of this certain size, or they'll take fees in lieu if there's not adequate space or adequate land or something like that. Then the fees are set aside for a priority list from the city on parks. So really, I think we would like to, and I think that would be part of updating the master plan, is getting an actual priority list from the city council, like saying, these are the projects we want to complete in the next few years. I think we would like it codified that, you know, whatever the rationale is, that we would hope they would do like land dedication first, and then if not, then we can use the fees for the other projects. The thing that Canby had that also I would like they had an escalator in there. So as the years go by, the fees get updated against inflation. They call it the engineering new construction cost index. So it's like the consumer price index. As construction fees go up in time, then the SDCs will go along to match it. So they go just as far as they did in the past. And I think right now we don't collect anything from businesses. And I think Steven mentioned that when he sent his little PDF online too, saying I think we would like businesses to also pay portions of an SDC so that they're also giving back to the community that they're building their businesses in. So if for like my main points I would like to see would be, the one would be a priority list from council, businesses as well as residents paying the SDCs as new businesses and developers start. I personally would probably lean towards land dedication, but that can be up for discussion. As long as we're setting aside land for community use and that type of thing, that I think that's good for everybody. And then it was fees that would keep up with inflation over the years. And I think that was those were the main things that I saw, because Canby had most of that, but they didn't have a few of the other ones. So I think altogether that was pretty much, I think, if we model it based off like something like Canby's with some extra provisions, it would be much better. And we would actually be able to set aside more land for parks and stuff like that.
So I was looking, can you guys hear me okay? This feels very weird.
Yeah, all good.
Okay. And the thing that I just feel like I am this random person. I mean, I don't know. Some of them are like by number of units, you have to have this much park space. Some of them are by like acres of land. Some of them are, and I don't like, I am an elementary school teacher. Like, I don't know what is the best way to do it. And I agree with you, like leaning towards pushing towards the space. But I don't know how we determine, like, we can look at these examples and take a guess, but like, I don't feel like I have the knowledge that is needed to determine, you know what I mean? And then I was looking at like the SDC fees for different places, and they range from like it's like a huge range.
I think the main thing is like, we have like our main list, like we would like to see these specific things, and then we give that list to those advisors who came, and then let them decide the methodology behind it. Like, again, do we really care like what percent is, that's more of like the city's area. I think our purpose is just to say we would like everyone to pay the SDCs, including businesses. We would prefer, like, we would like stronger wording to have land dedication, but if it's a last case scenario and they cannot do it, then we'll take fees. We could I think our purpose is to tell them like, this is the wording we would like. You guys can come up with a methodology, that type of thing.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
as far as businesses, right now, we are really having a hard time getting businesses in here. And if you start putting fees on them, they're gonna be less. I
But-
mean, they get enough fee, they get county fees and that's it, they get city fees. And the people that own the buildings are not renting those buildings cheap. You know, they're just, so my daughter owns a business here in town. I'm sure she pays her fair share, but
it would only be
Yeah.
to
the new businesses.
businesses building on new land. It's
okay.
not, it's not retroactive to like people who were like the houses in the, it's like, you know, it's like the industrial, how they're clear cutting trees and like, you know,
Yeah,
and like in that, those are like the types of
Yeah.
things, you know, we would like the SDC set aside for. It's not gonna be for,
People that are in business.
yeah,
And stuff, so.
or like buildings that are already built. It's all
That's
on
why
new
she-
construction.
That's why she at least is a business. She don't build her own business because it's cheaper for her to lease the building from her landlord than it is to build one.
Yeah, but I, you know, I do think it is important that, you know, with, as developers, you know, they shouldn't just, I mean, they shouldn't really just have like free reign to like clear cut land, put
No.
up houses, put up businesses and
I
return
agree.
nothing to the city.
Oh,
You
I
know,
agree.
everyone should probably, you know, pay their fair share, whether, you know, it's in land back for parks or something like that.
Yeah. so,
So to be clear, you just want commercial businesses to start getting that SDC charge, the
Yeah.
same as like residential.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
And when they do put in the parks to make sure, this is another thing that was brought up. You put in a park, you have to have parking spots, you have to have them striped, so you know. That's the biggest problem at Campanella's Park is the parking and striping.
see, like that word, like we could put that wording in there, like we would like to see the parks be built along with the communities if they're gonna be land dedications.
Yeah.
That way that's on the construction company to also do that. Like that's something we could also put in there. And they could like write up wording for that if everyone likes that too.
And the public we should have a meeting with the people here in town on these parks like we did when we built the skate park and Wade Creek. We had public meetings and
Mhm.
we have diagrams and everybody come in and they would put which diagram they thought was best. So, I mean, it was fun with the skate park because we had so many people, so many ideas, but it came to fire.
Yeah.
The public needs to be involved in it more. If they come, if they don't, yeah.
Yeah, so like we could put like, you know, the construction company would have the responsibility to build the parks and they would like to have like some sort of public forum during the design of the parks that they're
Yeah.
gonna be putting into the communities.
Yeah, that's what we did.
So, like, the people that know things will figure out how much money or whatever based on the projects we want. But as far as the part about like trying to convince the builders to go with the land, like giving the land for the parks,
Mhm.
do we need to come up with that amount? Is that what we're doing? Like
No, I think-
determining?
I saw like, I can't remember which city had it. It was, they said they had like within the wording, it said, you know, the builders are required to set aside a certain portion of the land and they have exceptions for the fees in lieu. And they were saying like, if for whatever reason, like they have specific reasons. And like I said, the city probably could figure out what reasons they would allow that to happen. But like if for some reason a park couldn't be built because the land wasn't usable for that type of thing or something like that, then we could probably accept the fees to go towards the other park projects like the waterfront or you know, something like that. And I think that's where like a priority list would be good from the city. So we know like the SDCs we're gonna try to retroactively get from the buildings that are going up now, like where specifically are they gonna use those dollars in the master plan? I think we would like to see a priority list from that. So we could like discuss that type of thing. But so they had like specific word like, oh, we would prefer a land dedication, but if you couldn't do that, then the SDCs will go towards these priority items type of thing.
Yeah. Well, and then what I'm saying too, though, is like, do we need to determine what the amount of land it, like when, because those were like, when I looked at them, some of them, like they didn't have to do one unless they had X amount of units or X amount of land usage. So
Got
we
it.
need to determine that as well, right?
Yeah, I think the city people could probably determine that. I mean, like, if I was thinking about it, you know, like some cities have like percentage wise, they're like, oh, if you take however many acres you're going to do, and you need to take at least 10% of that and set it aside for a city. Whereas Canby had, if you have this many residents, you need 14 acres of it to be parks because that's how much land per person, like per capita, they want. So again, I don't know what would be the best. I think we could leave that up to the city people probably too to determine, and maybe they can. What I would hope they could do is we could like have them like do a basic layout, and then they could like present it, and then we could make commentary on that, saying, yeah, we think that's fine, or no, we would like some more of that type of thing.
You still have 8 acres at Campanellas to be developed by the city, and the first part of it was developed by Tim, the developer,
Yeah.
and the other 8 or 10 acres, it was left to us to develop and put stuff in there that we wanted.
Yeah.
Well,
So
it's when we're waiting on the drawings to come back for that, for the last revision. I am not feeling well. I apologize.
We can tell.
But
I've been there.
I think what Gina's saying is, you know, if they sell off a 20-acre area, you know, what methodology would we like use to determine how much park space would be set aside?
Yeah.
And I think that's more of a city, like they can determine it really. And then if they brought it back to us like, okay, we think this much is right, then we could like put an input after the fact.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going to be doing when the planning commission is going to do that amendment.
Mhm.
And that's part of that I think that will come in to what they're going to start planning. So I think that's what that is.
Yeah. I think I would like to know how much they would, and if we could get an opinion,
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah,
on that,
be a
because
part of that decision once it comes out.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep, I'll make a note.
So I have a question, the contractors that did the Wade Creek 3. Okay, when is their responsibility up? We have within a year for them to fix things after a year that we have to pay for it.
Melanie is going to be doing a walkthrough this spring with them. And
Because I noticed the workers were trying to mend the fences in the back. I mean,
yeah,
mend them, but the contractors are the ones that messed them up, so they should be the one that replacing them.
mhm. Yeah, that hasn't happened yet as far as the walkthrough. So that's going to happen this spring, and they'll walk through and see what needs to be fixed and updated and things like that. So,
They did get the concrete slab fixed, so.
yeah, so there's still time.
Yeah. Did you see anything else, Gina, about that you saw that you potentially liked for the SDC stuff?
I just realized I'm unmuted still. Have I been coughing unmuted? I apologize if I was.
No, you're all
Anyway,
good.
no, I mean, I just mainly, I like the wording in multiple, how it's like strongly encouraged, and the fees are fairly high if they don't do the land dedication for parks. And I just wanted to figure out, like, whoever there knows what way is best to figure out, calculate like how much land, or the wording on that. And then also I did think, like how Shirley was saying in Campanella, they actually built that playground before a single house was built. That playground was there before anything else. And I think like that being a piece of it too. So it's not just left. I don't know how that gets worded in there, but like how you're saying, being built along with it. And like having guidelines on what is expected. I think the part, like in our parks plan, we have things like how Shirley was saying about Wade Creek, where we have like for different ages. And I think that being included in there too is important. So it's not just some little teeny tiny thing. Like right now, what we have in Campanella is just, for teeny kids. So I think including all those kinds of things.
Yeah. I think that would be like how when we do, like, hopefully, like I said, if we do an update to the master plan, then hopefully we could get like extra word, like, if we wanted specific things like Steven had like his universal access playground and like the splash pad, some other like the multi-sport field, that type of thing. Like that, I think that would be good for the update to the master plan. And then hopefully we would get, like I said, like a priority like from city council saying, okay, yeah, we want to do these things first. And then but yeah, I see, I think it is better that it gets built alongside, that way the community knows what's going in before, they start selling houses and
Yeah, it should be worded so people that are buying homes know what's happening.
yeah, exactly.
And that was the builder and the real estate companies. That's their problem.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be put right out front to you when you buy a home.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
I think the inclusive playground, I forget how Stephen worded it in his doc that he sent, but that's
Mhm.
something we've talked about for a long time and looked into. Which we did kind of the first step with this new playground up here in my neighborhood with the surface that it has. And then also we had talked about having like some sort of like sports field or complex, like we're just limited on fields. And I think putting something about like, I have no idea where that would go, but obviously that would take a good amount of funding to do something like that. I'm thinking about, I don't know if anyone's been in, I don't know if it's actually considered Clackamas or Milwaukee, but they have like a softball, baseball field. And it's like 4 fields that like back up to each other. So it just makes a big square. Like they meet they're diamonds, so anyway. It's super cool. And I just think about out here how busy it always is and like rotating off of fields and soccer as well. So that's another place, something else that we could put money towards.
Sure.
Somebody suggested their own mill property. To purchase that and put a sports field down there. No, Redland, when I lived in Redland, we put a sports field out there. And it was really good for a long time, but every time I drive by it now, it's empty. Even in the summer, nobody uses it.
No, really.
I don't know why.
The one by like Fisher's Mill?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's used on weekends.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Used to be used in the summer, used to be used every
Yeah,
day.
no, it definitely is. I know
Good,
for soccer, I was there several weekends.
yeah.
Very full, very, very
Yeah,
busy.
this was always baseball and stuff like that.
Mhm.
time.
Yeah. Did you see anything you liked for the STCs?
Like some reason, I read through them and I found the whole thing overwhelming, like the numbers and the quantities that they need. And based on what Taryn said, it sounds like the planning commission kind of has a plan for the SDCs already. But my understanding is with SDCs, you only get money if there's a plan that it's going towards. You can't just say we want this much money. And that was more like our task would be figuring out how to amend the master plan so that the money has a direction or a goal
Yes.
versus us trying to like nitpick like, oh, this should be this number of acres or not, or this much money, because that's really, at least for me, it's way out of my realm of knowledge and would be ridiculous to have me
It's always been that way, yeah.
give any of that. But as far as like looking at the master plan and saying, okay, no, this is what we need money for, and then the people who know stuff would match up the policy
Yeah.
writing for that, was my understanding. So I did go through things like they're lovely, but wow, a lot of words and numbers that I don't have that ability for.
But the number one thing, no matter what we build as far as parks, sports fields, we have to have parking areas.
Yeah.
Like Broadway is just a nightmare when there's games and stuff going on. I mean, I've seen people double parking now.
Mhm.
I know when the sports fields were built originally, the school was supposed to have parking inside. And I don't know whatever happened to that, but I mean, it's the police the other day, I said they were there and they were watching everybody parking the yellow curbing. And I'm going, how many tickets are coming out? No,
Yeah.
but
Okay. But okay. So I think like the main list of like those 7 things would be a good thing to email to the city, the planner people, let them come up with, again, the policy behind to like enforce those. And like I said, the ones would be, the priority list from city council, the businesses also paying their portion, the land dedication would be preferred, fees would keep up in inflation, construction would have the responsibility to do it during the building process if possible, and we would like to see a public forum about designs as they were doing it, like those 7 things, and they can come up with the rest of the methodology, and then we can discuss the master plan amendment in January, and then we can discuss more like these are the projects we would like to see on their priority list type of thing. And I could, if you want, I could email the list to the planners, or if you want to just send me their emails after, and then
Terrence and work. Are we gonna meet with the planning commission again? We had talked about it last time.
I don't know. Do we want to meet with anyone from the planning or anything like that again, or?
No, I don't think so. I think you sending that list to them would be very helpful, and the
Perfect.
planners can add that in when they discuss it next. So
Yeah, I think that's pretty. I think that's a pretty good.
Yeah.
Additions to
I
the.
think they'll find that very helpful, and then I can add the amendment to the January agenda for
Perfect.
the master plan.
Yeah, and then we can just, like I said, we can discuss what actual projects we would like to see the city move forward on going forward. So
Yes.
Also, the city wants the riverfront park.
that was a big. I mean, it was a big portion of the master plan. There was all
Yeah.
chapter 4 was the waterfront, that type of thing.
Asking me about that last
Yeah,
night.
there's a tentative drawing. I was telling Vincent, I was gonna see, I'll check with Melanie to see if I can share that. It's just very, very early stages.
Yeah, it's
So-
bringing a lot of business into town.
Yeah,
So
it
with the
is,
bridge across
it
the-
is still in the works.
So the bridge across the river.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but.
Oh, there was something on PGE's line the other day about it, so. I'd have to charge you, I mean, you'd have to pay walk-in fees probably if you're coming from over there to go there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Bring business into town because people don't like driving 10 miles around and get groceries.
Right.
That's how much it is, 10 miles each way to get down to McIver. Yeah.
I do that drive all the time. It doesn't feel like it's that
No,
far.
it doesn't feel like that part, but that's what everybody says it is.
Huh.
Cause you gotta go down in the park too.
Yeah.
Not just the highway, right?
Okay. Okay. So I think we're good on the SDC discussion, unless anyone has anything else. Perfect. And then, okay, so the candy cane planning. I came up with hints and ideas, but I emailed Froyo about potentially getting gift cards, and I have not heard back from them about it. We only had.
Can I
we only
give you
had-
my opinion?
Yeah, go ahead.
So another candy cane hunt has been started.
Yeah.
And
I
I think that it's gonna get really confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife showed me
Um,
that today.
Uh-huh. So I'm just throwing that out there. I'm like, I don't know. I think that's gonna be really confusing. So I don't know if we just don't do it this year or what, but I mean, even me like knowing about both, I feel like I would be like, wait, which one is this? I didn't even look at it that closely. I don't know if you guys have or not. I'll see if I can look at it right now.
I know that
But-
Jordan designed it and it's more of a shopping, like a shop local. You go to places and then every time you shop there, you like get your name put into like a drawing, and there's a weekly drawing, and then there's a grand prize at the end of the time. And you have to, it's an online thing where you have to like log in, and then you get like points for going and shopping at places.
Kids or for adults?
I think it's more for adults,
I think.
but it is
Oh.
candy cane and it's at all the local businesses here.
So they're not actually looking, because I didn't even read it. I just saw it and was like, are you
No,
kidding?
I don't know if certain businesses have like a candy cane up, like if there's like a decal or something that lets you know that they're one of them, but it's all online and it's an app that Jordan designed.
Okay.
I was gonna say, we don't get that much participation on it. You know, I'm fine with just nixing it for this year, and then we can do something like a different event later in the year and call it good.
If anything you do a scavenger hunt for the kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we did, but and before we did it like every other year just because of just so that you don't get
There's so
like
much-
burned out or
there's
the
much going
novelty.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see how it works. Huh. You're doing a $600 local shopping spree.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to do it now?
Ours is a $5 gift card. Well, if we get them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know if I could send $600
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, so
I could've-
Like I said, I'm good with calling it on that one for the year, and then we can just do an extra thing later in the year and call it good.
I'm fine with that.
I know the kids, we did scavenger hunts and they loved them. I loved to put them in different parks and
Mhm.
stuff. But we did rock hunts one time where everybody donated painted rocks. And some of the rocks had prize numbers on them.
Yeah. See, I think it would be good, like how we have the Questacata thing now, you know, I think
I need to get that.
we could do like digital ones too, and like within like the website.
Mhm.
Like he could add like time-based ones, like, oh, if you go look at the parks in like these certain months, you know, but we could bring that up with Steven next time and see if that's something we can do. And we can do, like I said, more throughout the year type thing too.
You guys gonna do a float in July this year?
No.
Oh, turds.
A
We did them for 6 years.
float?
A float for the 4th of July parade. We won first prize 3 times.
Oh.
We
So,
did it a couple years ago, but we did
Yeah.
it, the last one that we did, we were promoting, still getting the last of the funding for phase 3 of Wade Creek. We did we decorated the city's golf cart. 3 years ago?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
2 years ago?
Yeah,
2.5 years.
we had to turn kids away the last year because we didn't get we had a big trailer, but it wasn't quite big enough.
We could put it on the list for later in the year.
Kids like it.
That's cool. Yeah.
It
go with
promotes
this.
the park.
I thought you meant I thought you meant a different type of float.
No, no.
Like a river
We
float?
have a-
Yeah, like, yeah, we're not organizing
I'm
that.
sure we can get a trailer from somebody, from Ben or somebody.
Yeah, okay, maybe we'll put that on the later in the year. Do we need to meet in December? Or we're good for the year?
I will not be available, so
Neither will
I will not be here. for
Okay.
these.
Yeah, then we won't bother with December, and then
We have a meeting with the art people on the 6th, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say something about that on the 6th, right?
Yeah,
I can't, so that's Clackamas Rivers, that I have to be at work. We have a Christmas program and it's one of my required nighttime events. So I will not be able to attend that meeting.
I want to because we're gonna bring up, everybody know who Chris Nelson was? She was the dog rescue person. in
oh,
town.
okay, I know you're talking about.
They're gonna bring up a suggestion to do a mural.
Okay.
And my daughter's got all the fun people waiting to donate to it. So.
What time is it? 6:30?
6:30?
I can be there at 6:30. That's
6:30
fine.
and
I can be there too. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, she just died of cancer a while back.
No problem. I can do that.
I still got a garage full of stuff to take to Burke too.
Sure.
I go to garage sales and I give the stuff away. I grab it and then I take it.
Cool. Anything else?
So for our next meeting in January, we need to come with like having thought about amendments for the master plan and
Yep.
potential places for the splash pad. Those are like the 2 agenda items.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
because
Is that when we have to do the budget and all that stuff too again? Is it in January?
I just thought about this. You guys, it was suggested that maybe doing a goal setting meeting as well too. I don't know if you want to do that January, February. Something to think about, I guess. And also, I don't know when you want to start looking for bands for
Oh,
the concerts in the
concerts.
park. I
Local
have a few
bands?
saved that submitted.
Okay.
I don't know, but that's something that maybe should be thought about earlier in the year as well. So,
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So you said what kind of meeting?
like a
goal setting.
goal setting
goal
meeting for
setting,
the
goal setting.
year.
Okay, got you. Perfect.
It doesn't necessarily have to be in January, but
Yeah.
earlier in the year.
Bands in the
possibly.
park, we need to do one with a younger crowd band for the younger people. Like I said, the high school people, but there are younger bands out there that we can maybe get for one concert just for the adults too, but more music for younger.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think
Get them into the park.
yeah. Hopefully get a couple more vendors too this year. And then that'll be good for the concerts too. Yeah, we can start thinking about that in like January, February, that type of time. For sure.
Taryn, do you know how early he usually booked those?
I can ask him, but I feel like it was fairly early.
Okay.
How many do we have altogether?
I think that June, July, August,
5?
5, right?
4 or 5, yeah, something
I
like
can
that.
didn't
contact
have
Rob
any
and ask
there.
him about like a list of to-dos and his
Mhm.
scheduling. I can.
And also Sandy wanted to coordinate to, because their concert in the park is also the same night, so they wanted to coordinate to not have them be on the same night. So I think maybe he was interested in joining the meeting that you guys discussed that.
Sure.
Yeah, to also
Cool. Yeah, I think that's good.
partner and
I don't have to go to the park. I just sit in my backyard.
Yeah. so it's kind of a big task. I don't know when you want to work on it.
Would we, if he wants to be a part of that meeting, instead of us picking, would we want to say like, reach out and say, would you be able to come to January or February? And let him choose and then go from there?
Yeah, I can email
Because I
him.
don't want to say like, if we say like, oh, let's wait until February to invite him, and then what if he can't come?
Yeah, I can send out an email. I'll make myself a note to reach out to him tomorrow or next week.
Perfect.
We're gonna do one art in the park this year, or we're gonna try to do more than one
We'll talk to the
art commission.
yeah, let's talk to the art people on the 6th and see what they want to do. Because maybe we can do we can like combine the events between
Yeah, we did a lot of collaboration behind the scenes on that. I
Yeah.
can't think of what her name is, the one who came and spoke at our meeting.
yeah.
Yeah,
But her and I connected a lot so they could be there, and the year before we did as well. So
well, we're gonna meet with them on the 6th anyway. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
talk
we
to
can bring it
them
up then and see what they want to do. Maybe I'll try to get like more word out and try to do like one bigger event instead of like them doing a separate event than
Or
the
just so
parks.
I mean, it's art in the park starts out for just the kids. If you get too many adults mixed in with the kids, the kids art's not gonna sell.
we only did kids. So
Yeah.
the art commission did that separate thing, the arts at the creek. But I think for art in the park, we still would want it to be just kids. And the way
Yeah.
that the art commission was connected is that they had a couple of activities that the kids could participate in and do art. They had like painting and button
Crafts in the
making,
park.
Yeah.
and
they had the
then we
button
only
making
had
already, yeah.
kids selling.
Yeah. Well, the kids really enjoy it.
Yeah, I think hopefully maybe if they have like more connections with like the high school age kids or something like that, they could try to get more like
But that.
some of the older
Yeah,
kids
we
into it.
connected with the art teacher
Oh, okay.
and then we went from there.
Yeah, we'll try to get the word out on that. Cool. Yeah, we'll meet with them and see what they got going on.
Stuff.
Cool. Anything else? All good. Okay.
Well, a bunch of plants starts.
I think we're all good. I think we can adjourn the meeting.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Have a good holiday, Gina.
Thank you too.